Hello, everybody. Anish Majumdar here, career coach to the fiercely ambitious. Wherever you are, I'm sending good vibes your way. And I want to talk a little bit about a topic that is brought up all the time to me. It's brought up by people who are in transition right now. They're looking actively on the hunt for a new role. It's brought up by people who are just ramping things up, people who are just talking. Any conversations with employers, any conversations about new career opportunities, this topic comes up. And that is, Anish, why do I keep getting the runaround? Why is it that certain opportunities that seem very promising, we have great dialogue going, we move through the steps, things are chugging along, and then they ghost on me. And no matter what I do, nothing happens for weeks on end, sometimes for months on end. Sometimes they come back to me at some point. Most of the time they don't. So what's going on there? And that's a really, really key. This is a very important issue. This is not just an issue of getting the runaround. This is usually an indicator that there are deep problems that need to be looked at here when it comes to how you're doing this. Correct for those, and you're going to get all the opportunities you want, and this is going to be minimized, this runaround, because we don't have the ability, no one has the ability to do that. I'm a dad, right? I'm a dad to 3 kids. I've been married for over 10 years. I have tons of priorities, life priorities, as I'm sure you do. And we have people who depend on us and love us and trust us and need us. So if I know that I need to be done with this within the next 3 months, that needs to happen. That needs to be the time frame, right? Because I don't have the luxury of twiddling my thumbs, right? And so this is key to keeping you safe when you're going out there and you're trying to make this happen. Okay, so let's go through a couple of tips, a couple of concrete actions that you can take. And I recommend that you have a notepad and a pen next to you and just jot down the ideas that are coming to you here. Okay, here's the first one. Okay, I really want you to consider, what is your point of entry? What is the pretext for the conversations that you're having? If you're coming in as a job seeker and you're coming in based on a job posting, a pre-existing need that they themselves have determined, then unless you're getting the in with someone who's very senior level who's vouching for you, which can happen if you're employing a strategy that goes in that way. But if you're not doing that, if you're just answering the posting and you're hyper qualified, okay? I'm going to assume if you're taking this video, you are. Just by dint of the fact that you came in that way, it saps nearly all of the leverage that you have, because you're just a job seeker. You have no power in it. There's no one you know at this company. There's no card that you can play aside from putting your resume into the mix and waiting, which means it's stacked like this right from the get-go, right? So in those cases, if a company does not have a crystal clear idea of exactly what they're hiring for, or there's not a clear and urgent need, they know it's important, but it's not urgent, or there's other people who have to sign off on this who are twiddling their thumbs, any of these things and much more can pop up at any point if you're using that as the entry point to move forward. It's not your fault, but that's what's happening. There's an alternate play though. What if, and I just want to plant the seed in your mind, what if your pretext was not, please give me this job, I think I'm good for this role, look at my resume. What if it was different? What if it was an offer? It was an offer based on, here are the things that are going to take this business out, the 2 or 3 things that are absolutely going to take it out. You've never heard it verbalized and seen in this way, and here is a solution that I can offer, and I'm the solution to that. If that was your pretext, then all of that goes away, because you're not drifting in the hiring channel anymore. You're more in the consulting business development channel. The outcome may be the same. The outcome would be you getting plugged in for a pain that you've identified. But because you're coming in that way as an equal in the situation, now you have a whole bunch of different things at play. When I speak to a highly priced consultant in an area that I don't know, right? Like, let's say financial planning, for example, right? Just because I'm writing the check to this person does not mean they're operating on my time frame, correct? It's a privilege for me to be able to work with this person. It's an honor for me to be able to work with this person. And thank you so much for taking this off of my plate. Whatever you need, I will do it expediently so you can do what you do. That's the point of entry, right? And so I really want you to consider this. If primarily your job search has focused around finding these jobs on job boards and applying, it's no wonder this is happening. Start experimenting with another way, okay? Start looking at this in a different way. If I was a consultant, if I was getting paid thousands of dollars per hour for my time, where would I be looking at? Who would I be initiating dialogue with? You don't need much. You don't need to have a whole working business plan. That's the big secret here, folks. You could operate just as well as a highly priced consultant tomorrow as working in a full-time capacity. There is no secret sauce. You don't have to go to consulting school, right? But the approach, one approach is way better than the other. Here's another tip, okay? Have you communicated a clear point of view throughout your interactions? And I don't just mean drifting in terms of what you think they want. Whenever you do that, there's no real leverage, okay? And there's a big difference between giving people what they say they want and what they need and what is actually going to move the needle, okay? And here's one example. They will say they want X, Y, and Z. They want people with these cultural priorities, right? You've all read them. I've read them too. You see all of that, okay? And your instinct is, if I present myself as that, then I'm going to get the role, right? I mean, if I structure my resume to meet that, and I structure my interview performance to meet that, I'm going to meet the goal. But here's the problem, okay? From a human perspective, anyone worth their salt knows that they don't have all the answers in that domain. If I need to hire for a chief technology officer tomorrow, and all I get from you is a reflection of what I already know and the things that I already think are important, I don't have confidence in this person. Not really. My ego may be placated, but what I really want is someone who is an authority, right? What I really want is someone who's like, I get what you're saying there. Let me listen. Let me understand. Okay. I do not believe that 50% of where you guys are thinking, I don't believe that that's the way forward. It is the wrong thing to do. And I know that there are many people in this area who pitch for that, who go down that. I'm not that. I cannot, and here's why. And here's an alternate path, and here's why it's going to work better. Nope, I don't think that that's right. Having those moments there where you can disagree, paint an alternate point of view, and give clarity in both the positive of what you can create as well as the negative in terms of finally telling people that was the wrong move. That should not have been done. That should not be continued. Having those moments, even though they're awkward, are critical to establishing correct value when it comes to hiring. You've got to have a couple of moments like that, okay? Because that shows, hey, this person is not going to get pushed around. This person is a real leader, and this person is a scarce commodity. Because I've spoken to 10 other people about this problem, and everyone's been a yes man or a yes woman. He is not. She is not. You are not. And that has to be there, okay? If you are having conversations that are a love fest, but it's not actually going towards an outcome, this is why, okay? You need to draw a clear line in the sand there. Show what the enemy is. Show what we're avoiding. Show the traps. Fight for that understanding. Make a stand for the situation. And you're going to be in a much, much different place. And finally, a tip for you. If you're doing these things, right? You're activating these. And I hope you'll go back over this video, take some notes, figure out what would be a different point of entry that I could use, right? What would be some areas where I can really communicate a clear point of view? Think outside of your experience and think strategically, dynamically in terms of what are they experiencing, you know? Ask the right questions when you're in there. Ask deep questions. Start by asking serious questions. Don't fall for this BS advice of it's nice in general in the beginning and then it's serious at the end. No, you're a serious person. You execute at the high level. You don't have time to waste, okay? Get right into it, okay? And if you've done all of this, have a moment of truth. If you've done this work with a solid point of entry, you've done this work with a clear point of view, right? You've created that sense of urgency. It should be no problem for you to pick up the phone or an email, but email is really secondary here. Pick up the phone or meet in person and just have a real honest come to me moment here, okay? Let me know what's going on. I think we're very clear here in terms of what needs to happen. Be the authority, okay? Speak as the authority, not as a job seeker. Let them know, here's what's going on. But understand, the longer we wait on this, the less likely it is that we're going to be able to do it. And so I have a vested interest here in making sure that if we jump into this, that it's as successful as possible. So what do you say? How would you feel about us moving into that offer this week, hashing out those details, and having a real bread and butter conversation about that? Or you started into it right there, right? But assume that it's moving forward. Assume that you're the authority. Assume that they need you to come to the table and just make it clear. Boom! Now is the moment. Okay. I am clear. You are clear. I can cure this for you, but we need to move quickly. That is very, very key. And if you're having multiple conversations, let all of them know what your time frame is to resolve and move forward. Be absolutely clear about that. You're not being mean about it. You're not being angry. You're not giving someone an ultimatum. You're being clear and you're treating them with respect. But you are the authority here. You are the expert in terms of what you do. And so it's time for us to fight for that, and it's time for us to see the rewards of that. I really appreciate you learning with me. I will see you on the next video. Follow me on LinkedIn. Let me know what's going on with you. I always appreciate that, and I'm wishing you massive, massive success in the year to come. I hope it is everything you dream of and more. I'll talk to you guys soon.